Alright, test 1, 2, 3. Alright, perfect. Alrighty, back on All Star. This is Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar, Mike Oscar, Kimberly in Yuma, Arizona, and tonight I will be your net control station for the Worldwide Pride Net, also known as the Pride Radio Group Net. Uh, I'm going against my script here. Anyways, my pronouns are she, her, and this is a roundtable general discussion and RagJuNet, and all calls should go through the net control station. This net meets every Sunday at 2 a.m. coordinated universal time, which we are 4 minutes late because I had to set a few things up. Anyways, before we begin, do we have any emergency or other priority traffic? If at any time there is an emergency, please say break, break, and we will assist you. This net provides a safe place for members of the LGBTQIA+ community as well as their allies to hang out over the airwaves. This net, as well as the network it's hosted on, is open to all licensed amateur radio operators. No membership is necessary, and we welcome third-party traffic as well. Speaking of memberships, the Pride Radio Group provides an inclusive environment for all to learn, experiment, and enjoy radio communications by encouraging, promoting, and supporting diversity with the wider radio community, sharing our experiences and learnings with the community, and celebrating and embracing Pride on the air. For more information about the Pride Radio Group and how to join, plus gain access to our Discord chat room, head on over to prideradio.group. That is prideradio.group. Or check out Victor Kilo 3 Papa Romeo Golf or Kilo 3 Papa Romeo Golf on QRZ. Membership is free and all are welcome, regardless of who you are and who you love. Unless you hate us, of course. Yes, that's right. There is no place for hate on this network. Hi, hi. Hate against the LGBTQIA+ community, that is. Alright, this net is being relayed on the various nodes, talk groups, and reflectors of the Pride Radio Network and affiliated systems, including All-Star, Echolink, IRLP, DMR, YSF Reflector, WiresX, M17, NXDN, P25, D-Star, and Zello, as well as various RF repeaters around the world, and it's also streamed live on Broadcastify and via my YouTube channel, which can be found by searching for my call sign, Kilo Juliet 7 Oscar Mike Oscar. For more information on how you can connect to this network or for our live stream links, visit prideradionetwork.com. That is prideradionetwork.com. And it looks like we have some folks on Zello right now, so I will be approving their transmit privileges here shortly. And let's see what else. Oh yes, you can track and follow this net by downloading NetLogger on Windows, Linux, or Mac OS from netlogger.org. That is netlogger.org. NetLogger is a fantastic piece of software that allows you to log into the net and view a list of call signs in real time, as well as be able view a list of call signs in real time and be able to follow along with the net. If you're an Android or iPhone user, you may download On Air Netscraper instead. That is On Air Netscraper. Alrighty in, before we begin, do we have any news or other items of business for the Net and the Pride Radio Group? Alrighty, they're hearing nothing, and I've got nothing to announce either, so let's begin, folks. Do we have any check-ins to the Worldwide Pride Net, also known as the Pride Radio Group Net? Let's start with mobile short on time and in and out, so if your mobile don't have much time, or if you just simply want to pop in for a quick hello before popping out, you may now come now with your call signs slowly, twice, and phonetically, and you may also include your pronouns if you wish. This is Kilo Juliet 7 on Oscar Mike Oscar once again, and I will be standing by for mobile short on time and in and out stations. Alrighty then, let's open it up to anybody anywhere. So anybody anywhere, if you'd like to check in to the Worldwide Pride Net, also known as the Pride Radio Group Net, please come now with your call signs slowly, twice, and phonetically, and you may also include your pronouns if you wish.
Kilo 2 Golf Papa Uniform, Kilo 2 Golf Papa Uniform, pronouns Gina.
Aha! GPU! Alrighty, Victor Kilo 2, Golf Papa Uniform got you down. And do we have any other check-ins to the net? Please come now. And by the way, I have approved all Zello requests. So go ahead and, if you're on Zello, go ahead and transmit away. But we're taking check-ins from anybody anywhere, so please come now. Come on, people, don't be shy. Pick up your mics and say hi. And spit out your call signs slowly, twice, and phonetically, of course. Hi, hi. Who else is out there? This is Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar, she, her, with the Worldwide Pride Net, also known as the Pride Radio Group Net, and we are still taking check-ins. Please come now if you'd like to check into this awesome net. Well, if you can't check in via voice, you can also check in via Mastodon, Twitter, if you know my Twitter, Facebook, if you know my Facebook, Netlogger, YouTube. That's right, the YouTube live stream, you can check in via that as well. And Discord, yes, you can check in via Discord. And anywhere else we're online where you could reach me. And WinLink, yeah, I'll also take check-ins from WinLink as well. Why not? But anyways, let's see if we can get some more on-air check-ins on via voice right now on this network. Do we have anybody else out there wishing to check in before we get started? We got a bunch of shy people out there right now. They don't want to talk. Boo-hoo. We'll toss it over to VK2 GPU for right now. KJ7OMO. Take it away, Ray. Victor Kilo 2, Golf Papa Uniform. Victor Kilo 2, Golf Papa Uniform. Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar. VK2 GPU, are you with us? Are you with us? KJ7OMO.
KJ7, this is VK2 GPU. Do you copy?
A little tiny bit broken up, but I do copy you.
I'm not sure what's going on. I don't seem to be having any trouble with DMR at the moment. Is you wanting to get a problem with the link somewhere?
Huh. Weird. Must be a link issue, but at the moment I am hearing it. Just a little tiny bit jittery, but I do hear you, and I do copy you. Alright, while we wait for Ray to mess around, let's go ahead and open it back up and take some more check-ins. Do we have any more check-ins to the Worldwide Pride Net, also known as the Pride Radio Group Net? Please come now with your call signs slowly, twice, and phonetically, and if you wish, you may give us your pronouns as well. I'm quite surprised that so far we haven't we've only gotten one person. Let's see if we can get more folks on the list, folks. So if you'd like to check in and join in on the fun, please come now. Sorry about that. I was just checking something to make sure something was working here. Do we have anybody out there wishing to check in to the Worldwide Pride Net, also known as the Pride Radio Group Net? Please come now with your call signs slowly, twice, and phonetically.
Victor Kilo 2, Golf Papa Uniform.
Alright, Victor Kilo 2, Golf Papa Uniform. Sounds like you're coming in via analog. Over to you.
Thanks very much, KJ7 Elmo. This is VK2 GPU. I switched over to All-Star. I'm not sure what was going on with free DMR. Like, it seemed to work early on. I can hear you just fine on it, but it sounds like I wasn't getting it. I've just connected to node 2105. There appears to be some problems with 27154 at the moment, but I don't think anyone can help out at the moment, so I've just done what I can to get access. I was just saying, before when it went round to me, got up early this morning to play around with some media scatter on 2 meters. limited luck, no QSOs, but some others up in Queensland, Australia could hear me, and I could hear them briefly as it was. Hopefully, on next meteor shower, I'll have some luck, or once I've got my new mast up, I can try some aircraft enhancement or scanner. Anyways, back to net control. This was VK2 GPU.
Alrighty, VK2 GPU from KJ7 OMO returning. Quite odd that 27154 isn't being triggered when we're talking on the rest of the network. Weird. Anyways, good thing that you've gotten that bridged up. I'm also having to bridge the Pride Echolink conference as well, since that bridge is also down. A lot of weird stuff happening with the network, but that's alright. We'll press on and carry on. Alright, this is Kilo Juliet 7 Oscar Mike Oscar, your net control station. Let's see if we have anybody else out there wishing to check in. Please come now. Alrighty, looks like I had a little malfunction with YouTube chat, but I finally got that open. We have a check-in from Kilo Bravo 3 Sierra Quebec Victor. Pronouns are he, him, they, or them. Who and their traffic is, I would voice, but I'm in and out working on a few things. Got audio in the background, 7-3. Alright, Jay, well, thanks for your in and out check-in, and 7-3 to you. And let's see if we have anybody else wishing to check in. All I need are your call signs slowly, twice, and phonetically, and if you wish, you may give us your pronouns as well. This is Kilo Juliet 7 Oscar Mike Oscar, she, her, and I'll be standing by for more check-ins. Oh my goodness, this is really frustrating. Looks like we have nobody here at the moment. Wow. Alright, we're gonna kick it back up to Victor Kilo 2 Golf Papa uniform for right now. Kilo Juliet 7 Oscar Mike Oscar.
Thanks very much, KJ7OMO. This is VK2 GPU. I guess there might actually be some problems across the network. I'm seeing a couple of issues here, which I posted on the Discord, including a video just sort of showing the difference between All-Star and DMR on my end in terms of audio volume. That's pretty normal as opposed to a issue right now specifically, but I'm curious why I can't connect to the All-Star node in Australia. But it's possible that that could maybe need to be rebooted, needs a bit of a kick. Fortunately, I don't think Tony's about to deal with this. What have you been up to, KJ7OMO? And back to you. This was VK2GPU.
VK2 GPU from KJ7OMO returning. According to the bubble chart, you appear to be connected to 27154, but there's obviously no audio going in or out of that. So I don't know. Must be some weird gremlins with the network or something. Anyways, I haven't been up to much really. Just mostly doing my own thing and, playing games and playing with radios. And I've also been watching a lot of live streams of Storm Chasers here lately. Particularly Reed Timmer and his team. They've been doing a lot of live streaming lately, and they've had some quite the exciting storm chases. I tell you that. I can tell you that right now. In fact, I got I've got his live stream going in the background right now as we speak, and it looks like they're chasing a major storm at the moment. Big time tornado producer. Anyways, before we kick it back up to you, Ray, let's see if we have anybody else wishing to check in. This is Kilo Juliet 7 Oscar Mike Oscar standing by for more check-ins. Alright, do we have anybody else out there wishing to check in before we kick it back up to the top? Alright, Ray, VK2 GPU, KJ7OMO, we'll toss it back up to you. Hopefully this net will pick up a little bit. Normally we would get, quite a few people joining in, but this is just one of those days, one of those bad days, I guess. Back to you, Ray.
Thanks very much, KJ7OMO. This is VK2GPU. Hopefully you can copy me now. Can I just get a quick check on you guys?
Your audio is a bit jittery. Back to you.
No problem. I'll just come back in through All-Star instead. I just thought I'd give DMR another try out of curiosity, since there's not really anyone about at the moment. Got clinically sort of test some of this out a little bit. Some weeks it's a bit quiet. I mean, it's not like I've been about a lot for a fair few weeks now. But it happens. Like last week, I think the net ended up going on quite a bit longer, if I remember rightly. Anyways, back to you. This was VK2GPU.
Yeah, copy that. Here lately it's been unusually quiet. Lot of crickets chirping in the background. So many crickets here in the radio world. I think I'll toss it back to you, and then we'll go on from there. VK2GPU, KJ7OMO.
honestly, I just need to, thanks very much, I should probably have a poke at the DMR a bit more. I might actually change my settings as well so I can come in through one of the other endpoints, such as ISF or something, because I've only got it set up for free DMR at the moment, and basically the only thing that gets pushed through is the BrideNet anyway. I should probably get a little bit more use out of my hotspot at some point. Should probably try and make a bit more use out of the All-Star one as well a bit. At the moment it just kind of sits barely connected to my thing at the moment. I've only really got that set up for doing the testing with TLB. Anyways, I don't think I have much more to report at the moment, so back to you, KJ70Mo. This was VK2GPU.
VK2GPU, KJ70Mo returning. Interesting. You were also a bit jittery on All-Star, but not as bad as DMR. You are 100% copyable on All-Star, though, so, yeah, no problems copying you there. I don't know, there's just all sorts of gremlins tonight. Weird. Anyways, we're at the alright, so, we're gonna, since it's just the Kimberly and Ray show at the moment, let's see if, we can add some more folks to the list and have a real net. Do we have anybody out there wishing to check in to the Worldwide Pride Net, also known as the Pride Radio Group Net? All I need from you are your call signs slowly, twice, and phonetically, and you may also include your pronouns if you wish. This is Kilo Juliet 7 Oscar Mike Oscars, she, her, and I will be standing by for more check-ins. If I could get this thing to stop transmitting, that is. Here we go. Alright, one more time. Who else is out there wishing to check in? Please come now with your call signs slowly, twice, and phonetically. Must be the angry sun, I guess. I don't know. Propagation is not working very well. Alright, well, hopefully things will pick up here pretty soon. But in the meantime, let's kick it back up to Victor Kilo 2 Golf Paul uniform from Kilo Juliet 7 Oscar Mike Oscar.
Thanks very much, KJ70Mo. This is VK2GPU. Yeah, I think it's probably worth just blaming the angry sun on this one. It's definitely hitting the bands. It's even the IP ones. Hi. Just having a look over my DMR config at the moment. I need to see about how to set up DMR gateway so I can have one time slot for free DMR and another time slot for something else. And I can probably just hook it to YSF or something as well. But my focus is not very good at the talking, the radio, and the configuring stuff at the same time, so maybe I'll just leave this until later on and just hang around on the net, and hopefully some others will turn up. hoping, yeah, as I mentioned earlier, I'm hoping to get my new mask up at some point, but it started to rain earlier on, which kind of put me off going out. Got my Omni set up, just bolted loosely to the top of the basketball net. Bit of a janky old setup here at the moment on the VHF UHF. HF still as poor as it is with the high noise floor, unfortunately. Anyways, this was VK2 GPU, and back to net control.
VK2 GPU from KJ7OMO returning. Yeah, copy that. Well, I see Alpha Echo 4 Whiskey X-Ray connected to the Zello bridge, but he's not saying anything. He's being very quiet. Anyways, let's see if anybody out there would like to check into the net. This is Kilo Juliet 7 Oscar Mike Oscar. Please come now with your call signs slowly, twice, and phonetically, as well as your pronouns if you wish. If you'd like to check into the net and join in on the fun and make this more than just a Kimberly and Ray show. Hi. Interesting. I see an interesting call sign pop up. VK4 Tango Uniform Bravo, but they didn't say anything. Interesting. Do we have any additional check-ins to the net? Please come now. Alrighty, it's all crickets for the time being. So I guess we're gonna keep having the Kimberly and Ray show for a bit. Hi, VK2 GPU KJ7OMO. Back to you. Oh my goodness. Kimberly and Ray show.
VK2 GPU here. Thank you very much, KJ7OMO. Well, we can hang about and chat for a bit. It's been a... How's your week actually been? Since we haven't really spoken a lot in a while. I've been mostly just working the last week, playing a bit of radio this weekend. Back to you.
KJ7OMO returning. Yeah, haven't really been doing much. Like I said earlier, all I've been doing was just playing some video games and playing with the radio a little bit and yeah, just pretty much been keeping to myself. And I was having a little fun on HF until my Frankenstein setup decided to blow itself out on the amplifier side. So now I'm back to QRP. Boo-hoo, sad. But yeah, I gotta troubleshoot the amplifier board and find out what component blew out and see if I can source a replacement so I can get back to having 100 watts again. It's kind of weird having a Frankenstein rig where you've got a micro BitX driving the amplifier and filter stage of a dead IC718. It worked though, but what happened was when I was adjusting the power output of the micro BitX, I think I might have given the amplifier a little bit more than what it can handle, and as a result the thing went kablooey, and now it's refusing to output any more than 20 watts instead of the 100 that I normally get from it. So not entirely blown out, but it is crippled. So yeah, that is something I might try and fix later. Maybe I might have to have some help fixing it, since yeah. All right. Who else is out there? There's gotta be somebody else out there. There's just gotta be. It's impossible not to be somebody else out there. Come on now, don't be shy. Don't be a stranger. Pick up your mics and say hi to us. Let's get some more people added to the list, and join the fun. If you'd like to join us in the conversation and get checked into the Worldwide Pride Net, also known as the Pride Radio Group Net, all I need are your call signs, slowly, twice, and phonetically, and you may include your pronouns if you wish. This is Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar, she, her, and I'll be standing by for anybody else wishing to check into the net. Alrighty, once again, if you're unable to check in via voice, you're more than welcome to check in via YouTube, Netlonger, Twitter if you know my Twitter, Facebook if you know my Facebook, Mastodon if you know my Mastodon, Discord if you're in any of the Discord groups I'm in, or if you know my Discord. Via WinLink, you can check in via WinLink as well. You can also send me an email to check in. I'm good on QRZ. And of course, anywhere else, online where you are able to, get a hold of me, you can check in via that. But let's see if there's anybody on this network right now on voice wishing to check in. Do we have any additional check-ins before we kick it back to Ray? Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar standing by. Hoy vey. Alright, let's kick it back up to the top. VK2 GPU from KJ7 OMO.
Thanks very much, KJ7OMO. This is VK2GPU. I didn't realize it was that you'd broken the old icon that you had bodged in a QRP rig into. That sounds really sucky. That's a shame, and I hope you can get something sorted out for that, because I was actually quite thought that was actually a very neat solution to your lack of higher than QRP problem. And speaking of modifying radios, you just reminded me that I should probably get my IF tap installed in my 897, so I'm going to dig out that now, the instructions, and start trying to solder it up while I'm in the net. Just because I've had the soldering iron kit that I've needed for it for a while now, and I just haven't got around to doing the modification yet. I'm hoping that I can actually get myself a new VHF UHF rig at some point, but gotta make use of what I have for now, and at least I can do about 50 watts on VHF with this. Anyway, back to UKJ7 OMO. This was VK2 GPU.
VK2 GPU from KJ7 OMO returning. Yeah, copy that. It is a rather unique solution indeed to my QRP problem. And it did work. And it did work very well. I just... Next time, I just have to be more careful with it once I've, getting the thing all, once I get the thing, fully operational again. But, yeah, it sounds like you've got some, other stuff going on there, and yeah, it's actually, fun to, take a radio that's otherwise not gonna work and, use it to, help another radio out. To make it, louder and stronger on the airwaves. So, yeah, just modifying stuff in general is quite fun to do. It's one of the things that I enjoy doing. Alright, who else is out there wishing to check in? Please come now. Alright, one more time. Who else is out there wishing to check in? This is Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar She Hertz, and I am taking check-ins for the Worldwide Pride Net, also known as the Pride Radio Group Net. Please come now. It would help if I was actually transmitting over the airwaves. One more time, do we have any additional check-ins to the Worldwide Pride Net, also known as the Pride Radio Group Net? This is Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar. Please come now. Back to VK2 GPU from KJ7 OMO.
Thanks very much, KJ7OMO. This is VK2GPU. Just checking, just got my radio open, and even the really long, fine soldering iron tip is barely able to reach in between to make the IF tap. So I might have to try desolder some parts, and I'm not really keen on doing that. Very hesitant to do more than I need to do when modifying this radio, but I'm sure I can figure out something. Anyways, back to you. This was VK2GPU.
Yeah, I know. Soldering can be a real pain sometimes. Especially when the components are so doggone small that you need a microscope to see it. And those microscopes aren't cheap. They are definitely not cheap. But I'm definitely looking to get one of those, digital microscopes. The kind that hooks up to a HDMI display and all that. That kind of microscope is what I'm looking to get. Type of microscope used by, those who work on electronics. That'll allow you to see the surface mount components pretty good, and allows you to easily do some soldering. Back to you.
VK2GPU here again. This is less of a problem of the components being small and more of a problem of there's a tiny gap I've got to slide the soldering iron bit into, and I'm gonna struggle to get it, but I think I can possibly just be very careful and maybe use this pair of tweezers to guide it in, hoping that I don't have to crank my soldering iron power up for this. I've actually just posted a photo of where I've got to go into in technical discussion on the Discord, so you can really see what I need to be tapping here from that. This is going to be fun. There's actually only 3 taps I need to make, and 2 of them are nice and easy. The rest is just running a wire out the back of the radio and into an SDR, hoping that that'll give me the advantages of the better radio front end on this rig, and much less loss than using an SDR switcher, because I would actually quite like to be able to do the demodulation from software if I can, and I don't have to faff about with the radio quite as much until I'm transmitting. Anyways, back to you. This was VK2GPU.
Alrighty, VK2GPU from KJ7OMO returning. Yeah, copy that. So annoying when they put components in really inconvenient spots for soldering. Oy. Anyways, I just did a thing on Discord. I really don't like using the @everyone ping, but we'll do it anyway, because I'm desperate to get some more people on the net. Hi. Speaking of getting some more folks, who else is out there wishing to check in? This is Kilo Juliet 7 Oscar Mike Oscar, your net control station for the Worldwide Pride Net, also known as the Pride Radio Group Net. If you'd like to check into the net and join in on the fun, all I need from you are your call signs slowly, twice, and phonetically, and if you wish, you may give us your pronouns as well. Who else is out there wishing to check in? We're gonna go ahead and turn on the ginormous Tree Shaker 9 million Deluxe Extreme, and shake some trees really hard and see who drops down from them. Kilo Juliet 7 Oscar Mike Oscar standing by for more check-ins. right, do we have anybody else out there wishing to check in? Please come now. Already, back to you, VK2 GPU from KJ7OMO.
Thanks very much, KJ7OMO. This is VK2GPU. You can hear from my shack door. It sounds like Isla, one of my cats, wants to check in. Oh, she's running away. Was hoping to get her to meow over the radio, but she decided to run away. A little bit of a stage fright from her. Hi, hi. I think I might have found a way I can access this with care in the radio. Now I'm just trying to desperately not damage anything, because I really don't want to break this rig, because I can't afford to buy myself a new one just yet. Anyways, back to you, KJ7OMO. This is VK2GPU.
Oh, so you got a station manager wishing to check in. How cute. Cute little furball. And, yeah, you definitely don't want to break your precious radio equipment. Ham radios are too expensive and they are hard to come by. And it would be really bad if one of them, if your radio ever, if something happens to the radio. I know. Take it from me. It's quite it was quite awful when my 718 broke down. Back to you.
Yeah, at least I've got a G9 I can use for AHF, but unfortunately my VHF and UHF fun will have to end if I break this, at least temporarily, but it's not like I haven't been in this situation before where I've managed to screw myself over, but fingers crossed at least I could probably, as long as I can don't do too much damage, this is probably repairable, and I can find someone at a local club willing to actually have a go at it for me if I completely mess this up. Hopefully I won't. Just need to try and angle in well enough here. I can almost get there. It's just I'm probably losing a little bit too much heat at the moment when trying to get into the tiny, tiny little fucking hole. Anyways, back to you. This was VK2 GPU.
Yeah, VK2 GPU from KJ7OMO, returning. Yeah, copy that. By the way, we don't use foul language on the network, so no worries, though. It happens to the best of us. All right. Who else is out there wishing to check in? All I need from you are your call signs, slowly, twice, and phonetically. And if you wish, you may give us your pronouns as well. This is Kilo Juliet 7 Oscar Mike Oscar standing by for more check-ins to the Worldwide Pride Net, also known as the Pride Radio Group Net. already, at this point, I'm just sounding like a freaking broken record or a parrot. But do we have anybody else out there wishing to check in? Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar standing by.
Victor Kilo 3, Juliet Echo Delta.
Oh my god, finally, somebody else out there. Oh my god. Victor Kilo 3, Juliet Echo Delta, got you down. Woo! Finally, good to hear another soul out there. Who else is out there wishing to check in? Please come now. Alright, let's send it straight over to VK3JED from KJ7OMO.
Yeah, good day, Kimberley, and I think Ray was there, you said, and that was about it. Yeah, just got home about 10 minutes ago, and the delay in getting on was out of a fun run, one of the smaller outlying towns, about half an hour drive from here, and yeah, sort of organised by the farming community for a local fundraiser out there. I ran a 5k, and had another friend ran a 10. He ran his best 10 ever. Not a reasonably good run. Probably wasn't the fastest, but it was not far off it. So that's what I've been up to. Anyway, KJ7RMO, the group VK3JD.
VK3JED from KJ7OMO returning. It sounds like you had a lot of fun. Running around as usual. Oh yeah, by the way, the Pride Echolink conference lost connection to the network, and so I tried to bridge it via All-Star Node 2105, which is KJ7OMO-L, but the Pride conference rejected that connection, so I had to bridge it via KJ7OMO-Romeo instead of -Lima. So, yeah. And Ray reported that All-Star Node 27154, which I think it's your end of the Pride Network related stuff, that one is apparently not connected to anything. I don't know any of the details on that. That's the only information I was given. Anyways, let's kick it back up to Ray, VK2 GPU from KJ7OMO.
Yeah, you might want to do that call again, because you broke up just when you were giving the call sign. So I was assuming it was to Ray, but I could be wrong. And I'm on 27154 at the moment, so I don't know what the issue is, but it's definitely connected. Otherwise, you wouldn't be hearing me. KJ7RMO, VK3JD.
Alright, copy that. Oh, it must be a weird bug happening with Ray then. Yeah, because Ray's node couldn't connect, and Ray was also experiencing some choppiness to the on the DMR side for some weird reason. Anyways, VK2 GPU Ray KJ7OMO. We'll toss it back to you.
Thanks very much, KJ7OMO. This is VK2 GPU. I am having a hell of a time trying to solder this tiny little jumper wire to the IF tank. And, oh no, I thought I'd just threw a bit of copper wire across the room with the tweezers whilst trying to position it. But wow, this is kind of hard to do, and I need to make sure that I don't accidentally bridge anything to ground down here as well. So I've had to be very careful testing with my multimeter as well. I may skip a round or two whilst I just try and get this done, but it's good to hear you back in VK3 JED as well. Glad the fun run was, fun, as I would hope. Anyways, back to net control. This was VK2 GPU.
Alrighty, VK2 GPU from KJ7OMO returning. Alright, no problem. We'll let you get to work on your soldering project there. Back to VK3 JED from KJ7OMO. If I could stop transmitting, that is. Here we go.
Yeah, I know All-Star's duplex, but my end isn't. The RF end, that is, that I'm on, is not duplex, so I couldn't just talk back here. Yeah, it was pretty fun. And, yeah, okay, not being able to connect is a different issue, which I should be able to fix. It looks like the node list updater has fallen over again. Haven't worked out a watchdog to fix that, but occasionally it either falls over or fails to start, and when that happens, I don't get any updates on nodes. If your IP's changed, I can't find you. I can always connect because I'm on a static IP here, so I don't see the effect of that issue. Yeah, I'll check that one in a minute. I won't bring the main link back online until or till the net's over. But I've got to carefully do that to avoid the risk of creating a loop, and we don't want loops. They drive you loopy. Yeah, not sure what's going on with DMR. I haven't connected the DMR to see what's going on. Yeah, and the experience is it could be at my end or it could be at the other end. Yeah, I've had experiences either way with DMR. It can be a bit strange, but given the fact I haven't played with it or reset that for a while, it's probably yeah, lots of things to tweak. Yeah, it's a bit cool and windy down here, but yeah, the sun had a beautiful sunny morning. The cloud is over a bit, and it looks like the cloud is thinning, and the sun's going to come out more. So yeah, it might be a nice sunny afternoon. KJ7OMO, the group VK3JD.
Alright, VK3 JED from KJ7 OMO returning. Heard a little static burst there for a moment, so anyways, we're at the bottom of the list, so let's see if we have anybody anybody else out there wishing to check in to the Worldwide Pride Net, also known as the Pride Radio Group Net. All I need from you are your call signs slowly, twice, and phonetically, and if you wish, you may give us your pronouns as well. This is Kilo Juliet 7 Oscar Mike Oscar, she, her, and I am standing by for more check-ins to the Worldwide Pride Net. Alrighty, who else is out there wishing to check in? Please come now with your call signs slowly, twice, and phonetically.
VK2 Bravo Sierra Delta.
Alright, awesome sauce. Victor Kilo 2, Bravo Sierra Delta from Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar. Got you down. Anybody else out there wishing to check in? Here we go, it's finally starting to pick up. Alrighty, as a reminder, folks, if you're not able to check in via voice, I also will take check-ins via the YouTube live stream, as well as Mastodon if you know my Mastodon, Twitter if you know my Twitter, Facebook if you know my Facebook, Discord if you know my Discord, or if you're a member of any of the Discord servers that I also happen to be in. You can also use WinLink to check in, and you can also email me to check in. I'm good on QRZ. And you can also check in via any other method that I happen to be on and actively monitoring. With that, we'll toss it over to VK2BSD from KJ7OMO.
KJ7OMO VK2BSD returning. I hope the audio is coming through because I had a computer today direct into node 27154, so I can confirm from the previous chatter that yes, this is definitely working. I am mostly staring at progress bars at the moment. I took delivery of a Shari Pi 4U a week or two ago, but I've just been very busy between work and some other extracurricular non-radio activities, mostly organizing a convention for like 30,000 people. So I'm taking a little bit of time today to try and plug this into my old Pi 4 and get it set up. Very disappointingly, it still seems like there isn't a 64-bit ARM build of All-Star, so that Pi 4 is going to be running on 32-bit. But, my SD card write has just finished, so I'll try that and see how it goes. I have also today run into the long-standing problem of the Raspberry Pi Imager tool is incredibly slow when running with Intel emulation on a M1 or M2 Mac. And I've once, for the second time now in a couple of years, had to go dig through GitHub issues to find, oh yeah, hang on, they do have an unofficial ARM build that they just haven't published. So I've just got that SD card done, and hopefully for the next over I'll be able to boot up the Pi and start installing things. The KJ7OMO and the group from VK2BSD.
Alrighty, VK2BSD from KJ7OMO returning. Fantastic audio. You're coming in quite loud and clear and easy to understand. It's good having you on the network for a change rather than being the usual in and out that you usually are. Good that it's good to have you stay for a for a change rather. If I can get my words right. All right. we're gonna kick it back up to the top. VK2 GPU from KJ7OMO. Let's see how your soldering is going.
Thank you very much, KJ7OMO. This is VK2GPU, and unfortunately, I have no positive news whatsoever. So I'm going to go have a look over the schematic and see if I can figure out another way I can go with this. I might actually have to remove a component to be able to get this on. I was hoping to not have to, but, well, if that's the way it's going to be, that's the way it's going to have to be, unfortunately. So we'll see how that goes, and I'll pass it back to the group. This was VK2GPU.
Alrighty, VK2 GPU from KJ7OMO returning. Well, that is some sad news indeed that the soldering job did not work out, but hopefully you'll find a solution to the problem. Alright, VK3 JED, back to you from KJ7OMO.
Yeah, and good afternoon, Yakov, and you're sounding really, really good on All-Star. Yeah. And, yeah, I'm curious, I'm not sure what benefits Raspberry Pi Imager has over using DD, which DD I would have thought would still be available on Mac OS if you open up a terminal window. That's pretty much, I've done under Linux, but yeah, I have in the past when I had a Mac used DD under the Mac as well to burn, yeah. But of course, you must have a card reader. So yeah, I would have thought on Mac OS I'd just use DD and bypass the emulation altogether, run native, which these days is a bigger issue since you're running on a different architecture. But yeah, unless there's some reason you couldn't go that route and had to use a Raspberry Pi Imager, maybe you can fill us in when it's your turn. And yeah, looks like I've got to check on DMR at some stage. And check the node list lookup, although Yakov being able to connect suggests at least you're on a static IP as well. Although if your node's new again, it would need the node list updater. So yeah, it's interesting that Ray couldn't connect. When I've had problems with my original 21990 node connecting to others, I've actually had to reboot not just the node but the entire machine to get into nodes that show auto congestion, and then yeah, I actually had to reboot the whole machine to fix that problem, unless it was a node list updater on my end causing the problem. Now that I know a little bit more, so yeah, I just got the alligator. So you've got to make sure that that node list updater process, at least on ASL, I'm not sure what Handpoint does, but on ASL, that node list updater process, you've got to make sure that's running, or yeah, your connectivity will start to suffer. Anyway, I got my alligator before, so it's telling me to shut up. KJ7OMO with the group VK3JD.
VK3JED from KJ7OMO returning. Oh boy, that alligator sure loves you. Hi. It loves to give you bites. Careful it doesn't take a chunk off of you. Alright, VK2, Bravo Sierra Delta from Kilo, Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar, over to you.
KJ7OMO on the group, VK2 BSG returning, and some static there if someone was trying to break in, you didn't quite make it. Ray, VK2 GPU, what did you do? What's your project, and what have you ruined this time? And VK3 JEB. Yeah, so the Pi image, in theory, is basically just DD on steroids. The advantages I have is, number one, it can download the image I need for me. So I just say, Ubuntu this, 32-bit, Ubuntu that, 64-bit, and we're done. And the other thing is it can set up the config files on the SD card to pre-configure things like the use of the locale FI settings. So I find that's quite useful. And also remember them between imaging, so on. I have got the Raspberry Pi up and running now, and I've accidentally used the 64-bit image, which I've confirmed does not work with AllStar. It stuffs up the deb dependencies. It says AllStar does exist, but it needs Dardi asterisk and a couple other packages that aren't installable because they don't exist for ARM64. So I'm going to have to download the 32-bit image, wipe it, redo it, and go again. In terms of connectivity, I'm using the Mac app Transceive, which is an AllStar client, and I'm going direct into 27154 rather than connecting to a node that connects to 27154. So I think it's just IX protocol straight in using AllStar credentials. So I don't think I'm actually affected by node number lookup. So it could be something related to that, but then I just bypass it and I'm straight in. So I'm going to reflash this SD card and we'll see if it's ready by the next over. KJ7OMO and the group from VK2BSD.
Alright, VK2BSD from KJ7OMO returning. I'm familiar with that app. Yeah, a friend of mine actually gifted me that app while I was trying out a Hackintosh, which is basically running actual Mac OS, but hacked to run on non-Mac hardware. It worked. It actually worked pretty good, but yeah, I don't know. Mac is just not for me. Mac OS is just not for me. It's just, I don't know. It's just not my thing. I prefer Linux and Windows. I so wish that the Transceive app was available on Windows and Linux, because that is such a fantastic app, very well built. It was a really, really solid app, really good app. Again, it just sucks that it's only available on Mac. Anyways, we're at the bottom of the list, so who else is out there wishing to check in? All I need are your call signs slowly, twice, and phonetically. And if you wish, you may include your pronouns as well. This is Kilo Juliet 7 Oscar Mike Oscar she her, and let's see who else is out there wishing to check in. Please come now.
N3 VEM November 3 Victor Echo Mike he him in Whitmer, Pennsylvania.
November 3 Victor Echo Mike, haven't heard you on the air in a long time. Got you down. Anybody else out there wishing to check in? After a bit of persistence, now folks are starting to come out of the woodwork. N3 VEM from KJ7OML, over to you. Good hearing you again.
Yeah, good evening. Glad to be back on again and able to check in. It's a little later than I'm usually awake, but was working on some other things here and was able to sit down and finally quiet in the house. So fired up the radio and figured, hey, if they're still at it, I can certainly check in while I plug away at some other things. So yeah, I don't know what the specific topic going around is. I listened through the last round. It sounds like folks were talking about getting some All-Star nodes up and running, either All-Star Link or Hamvoid, but didn't catch which one folks were working on. So yeah, my most recent adventure with that was, obviously with Raspberry Pis being hard to get a hold of, I dabbled around with trying to get it to run on a lay potato, which I wasn't able to do. So I basically threw in the towel and bought a refurbished ThinkCentre desktop and installed the All-Star Link Debian image on that. So it's basically one of those like micro PCs. So I figured, well, at this point, a refurbished micro PC I can get cheaper than a Raspberry Pi anyway. I think I paid $80 for the refurb desktop. So that's what I have running the All-Star node that's connected to this repeater here. So that's the route I ended up going. So yeah, Kimberly, I'll kick it back to you, and I'll listen around again and see what folks are chatting about. And 3, VEM.
Alrighty, N3VEM from KJ7OMO returning. Yeah, we've been talking about this and that and all that stuff, but yeah, looks like we got some folks here trying to set up Raspberry Pi nodes. So yeah, having a little fun doing that. But yeah, anyways, we're gonna toss it back up to VK2 GPU from KJ7OMO. I'm stumbling around a little bit, my apologies.
Thanks very much, KJ7OMO. This is VK2 GPU. Still going, trying to get this in. I'm starting to get a bit aggressive with the flux now. Trying to keep check on it with the continuity meter to make sure I'm not shorting anything. I'm not having much luck at all, but I might go and dig out my reflow station so that I can just blast hot air and, well, spray and pray, I guess. So, VK2BSD, I'm currently trying to add an IF tap to my 897. I've had it waiting around since before Christmas, but unfortunately it's a pain in the ass to reach where I need to solder this in, and it's non-trivial to desolder one of the components in that area. But I'm sure I'll figure it out. I might actually just have to take the whole mainboard out and see if I can remove the shielding from the mixer section nearby. So wish me some luck with that. This is VK2 GPU, back to the group.
VK2 GPU from KJ7OMO returning. Adding an IF tap to your HF rig. That sounds really exciting. I almost was gonna add an IF tap to my 718 until it blew itself out. I wonder if I could add an IF tap to the MicroBitX QRP rig. I'll have to check around and see if I can do that. Alright, we're gonna toss it back to VK3 JED from KJ7OMO.
Yeah, okay. And also, good day to the station that just dropped in, forgotten the name that way. And yeah, nice little project there, Ray. IF taps. I I think we talked about that on Discord, but yeah, that should be quite useful and give you a bit more functionality to hook up an SDR and get an idea what's going on around the frequencies. And yeah, Yakko, fair enough on the Raspberry Pi image. That makes sense. There's certainly some good features. Sounds like it's advanced a bit since I last used it. I mean, last time I used it was just basically glorified DD. Anyway, I might make this my final and go off and do some other things, catch up with the rest of the day. But, oh yeah, and with the transceiver, it probably uses a web transceiver, which is not affected. So yeah, I'll log off here and then I'll go and do some background checking on the All-Star and make sure that the node update is working. And I'll give some updates in Discord as necessary. Anyway, I'll say 7-3 to all for now. KJ7OMO, the group at K3J.
Was there a braking station? Go ahead. Okay, I guess not. Alright, Tony. Well, thanks for hanging out with us, and 7-3 to you, and hopefully we can, and hopefully we'll hear you again on the air. Alright, VK2 BSD from KJ7OMO, over to you.
VK2BSD returning, and yeah, I heard that static again, followed by a beep, so I think someone's trying to get in on a repeater somewhere, or something's badly linked. Yeah, Hackintosh's, I haven't heard that in a while. That was kind of popular when I was in high school. I remember trying it myself on a virtual machine. It was a bit of a pain. And I suspect with Apple's move to ARM, things are only going to get worse in that area, but it was quite cool, and I do know some people who've done, like Mac Pro class, Windows gaming machines that are running Mac OS. The Transceive app being Mac only is annoying, I do agree, because it's so nicely polished. I really want an iPhone version of it, which they teased on Twitter ages ago that they might be working on, and then I've heard nothing. What I really want, though, is a mobile app that uses the new iOS 16 push-to-talk features. And I don't actually know of anything consumer-facing that uses it. I expect, like, Motorola might have some app that does that. But iOS 16 does allow for background running radio apps, which can then, you have background audio to relay on the radio, and then you get a push-to-talk control and the push notifications for it. But that does require a server that's compatible with it and uses push notifications and all that, which, in theory, you could build as, like, an All-Star extension. But I need some open source client code to start playing with, because my experience in audio programming is zero. I just can't find anything to start with, or how to get started in that. And Ray VK2 GPU, that sounds fun. I don't quite understand what you're doing, but I know I recognize those words from the standard exam. My guess is a waterfall, but I'll leave that to you to explain. Other than that, I'm still waiting for the new re-imaging for the 32-bit image of Ubuntu, so I can get going on the Shari. And so I'll throw it back to you, KJ7OMO and the group from VK2BSD.
Alrighty, VK2BSD from KJ7OMO returning. Yeah, basically the IF tap allows you to plug in a RTL SDR dongle to it, and tune that to the HF rig's IF frequency, and you'll be able to see, basically a waterfall image of the transceiver's bandwidth as you tune around the HF band. So, quite the neat thing to have. Anyways, we're gonna toss it right back to N3VEM from KJ7OMO.
Yeah, this is N3VEM. Yeah, that's talking IF taps and waterfalls. That reminds me of a project I had in mind that I never got started. Well, it sort of got started, but never really got off the ground with. That now I'm thinking, oh, I should look back into that. My main HF rig actually has an IF out, so in theory I should be able to just go right from that IF out into one of those little SDR dongles. And I actually had bought an SDR dongle, and it sat here for a while, but then I quote-unquote borrowed it for this project related to some model rocket telemetry stuff that I've been doing. So my SDR dongle was tied up with that. But what I had in mind that I never got around to is the way my shack is laid out. I actually have 3 computer monitors, and my main HF rig kind of like sits underneath the center one. And I keep looking online. There's like small monitors that you can get that are, well, they're considered like 12-inch monitors, 14-inch monitors, but they're actually like really narrow and long. So they're 3 or 4 inches tall by like 11 or 12 inches long. And I keep thinking, oh, one of those monitors would look awesome, like mounted right underneath of one of my other monitors with the waterfall on it from my main HF rig. So I've had one of those monitors sitting in my save for later shopping cart online for, I don't know, months and months and months. And now listening to the project of getting an IF tap added to a radio, now I'm thinking, oh, I should revisit that idea again. So yeah, I guess that's the problem. You talk to other people doing projects, and then you end up queuing up more projects for yourself. So yeah, I'll kick it back to the net, and I'll probably be good for another round or two before I get too sleepy on my end. Back to you, Kimberly. This is N3VEM.
All right, lots of good stuff there. N3VEM from KJ7OMO returning. All right, we're at the bottom of the list, so let's see who else is out there wishing to check in. All I need from you are your call signs slowly, twice, and phonetically, and you may include your pronouns if you wish. Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar, she, her, and I'll be standing by for more check-ins to the net. Alrighty, well, I sent some invites over to a few hams on the Book of Faces, so hopefully they'll join in. But in the meantime, we'll toss it back up to VK2 GPU from KJ7OMO.
Thanks very much, KJ7OMO. This is VK2 GPU. Still no luck. I have the PCB excised from the unit, and now I'm just trying to desolder the shield, but unfortunately, because it sits on a ground plane, that's just soaking up all the heat. So I'm getting a little bit frustrated. I could always use the reflow gun to heat it up, but that is the risk of knocking off a few of the SMD components on the underside, and I would rather not have to try and figure out where those go because my eyesight on is not good enough to read the text on these. But yeah, I'm getting very close to just giving up for now. This might just be a project that I leave for another time. This IF tap will work with any radio pretty much, as long as you know where to go inside to find where to do the tap. It's just a bit of a shame that I can't seem to find an easy way to solder the tap in. It's a shame I can't even see a via that I could tap. There are a few other locations I may be able to manage, but it looks like all of those are on the underside of the PCB, and I need to be on the top side of the PCB for this, so I can wire everything up pretty cleanly. Anyways, VK2BSD, as everyone's already said, that's to get a waterfall out, so I just plug it into a SD. And then I get to see what is coming in after the front end of the radio. Anyways, back to the group. This was VK2GPU.
Alrighty, VK2GPU, KJ7OMO returning. No comment at this time, so tossing it straight to VK2BSD. Victor Kilo 2 Bravo Sierra Delta from Kilo Juliet 7 Oscar Mike Oscar. Okay, I think we lost Yakov. N3VEM from KJ7OMO.
Okay, yeah, since we're, sounds like folks are talking projects this evening, I guess I'll give an update on the one. I don't know if anybody on is, or folks that I chatted with about my kind of rocket project in the past, but figure I can at least share what I've been up to with that one, because that's what I've been working on most recently. But yeah, the quick summary is I've been working on, with the kids, sticking some LoRa and APRS stuff in model rockets to do some kind of basic telemetry and tracking stuff just for fun. And we built one rocket and we crashed it, and we built a second rocket, which I now have pretty much ready to launch. But I actually ordered some 1010 rail, like the slot rail like folks use for building up like their 3D printer frames and stuff like that. So I ordered a bunch of that rail to build a new launch pad for ourselves, because my launch pad is pretty old. So right now I'm actually just eagerly awaiting a 6-foot long box with a whole bunch of aluminum rail pieces in it, so we can build our new launch pad, and maybe even as early as next weekend, get this rocket launched and do some telemetry stuff. So I built in to the little ground station controller for it. We built in a tie to Mastodon. So I set up a Mastodon account for the rocket. So the day that we launch it, it'll give some kind of live status posts as it goes, and it should be a lot of fun. So we're just kind of in thumb twiddling mode, waiting for the launchpad parts to show up. So yeah, that's kind of what I've been occupied with during my project time. So luckily, I'm not having to like stare at tiny little stuff and try to solder onto a little board like it sounds like VK2 GPU's fighting with there. It's all the stuff I'm waiting on and working on is all big, 1-inch square pieces of aluminum and screws and bolts. So I won't have to test my eyes when those things come. Back to net. N3VEM.
N3VEM from KJ7OMO returning. Now that sounds really awesome and exciting. Shooting up rockets with telemetry hardware on them. That is really cool. I would actually love to do something like that. For the heck of it. But yeah, that definitely sounds like some really fun projects, and even though the rest of the group already knows about this project I was doing, but since you just joined, I'll go ahead and just briefly get you up to speed with my project going on. So, I basically took the amplifier and filter units from my dead IC718, and I created a Frankenstein rig with my MicroBitX version 6 QRP rig, which allowed it to get 100 watts out, and it worked fantastic for a while. And then, well, I must have given it a little bit too much input power, because, well, yeah, the amplifier section partially blew out on me, so now it's refusing to output any more than 20 watts. So, yeah, there's that project. And the the other project I worked on was getting this network live on Zello, which was fairly easy. So yeah, we have a new connection method available, which is Zello. Of course, I have to manually approve folks on Zello to transmit for obvious reasons, but yeah, we got that going. Anyways, we're at the bottom of the list, so let's take a peek out at Radioland to see if anybody else is out there. All I need from you are your call signs slowly, twice, and phonetically, and you may include your pronouns if you wish. This is Kilo Juliet 7 Oscar Mike Oscar, your net control station, using she/her pronouns, and I will be standing by for more check-ins to the net. Alrighty, VK2 GPU from KJ7 OMO.
I will just pass for this round while I vaguely start to reassemble the radio. I'm about to go get the reflow gun, so wish me luck. I may actually do a quick test of the rig before I actually take to it and do some more damage. So see how things go. Back to the group. This is VK2 GPU.
Alrighty, not a problem. We'll toss it over to Victor Kilo 2 Bravo Sierra Delta from Kilo Juliet 7 Oscar Mike Oscar.
KJ7 Omo and the group VK2BSD. I'm going to make this one my final so I can focus on setting up this Pi because it is not playing nicely with me. Dropping out over the network and maybe having other bad network ramifications. I missed a lot of the last round just due to, I suspect, packet loss, but there was just silence for a lot of it where it sounded like there was supposed to be people talking. I might pop back on later once I've got this sorted, but otherwise have a good day, night, afternoon, etc. KJ7 Omo and the group from VK2BSD.
Alrighty, VK2BSD from KJ7 OMO returning. Not a problem. Thanks for hanging out with us, and 7-3 to ya, and we look forward to hearing you on the next one. We have traffic from YouTube. Kilo Bravo 3 Sierra Quebec Victor says, and I quote, "Don't go chasing waterfalls, please. Stick to the sidebands and the modes that you're used to," and unquote. And they used the musical note emojis. on that one. And additional traffic from that same station on YouTube, and I quote, "Or do I mean I'm not your parental unit, X-ray Delta," and unquote. Already, not sure what to make of that. Alright, N3VEM from KJ7OMO, over to you.
Okay, well, I guess KB3SQV just gave away an approximate age range there by quoting TLC. So yeah, that is very applicable. But boy, I had to dig back pretty far in the archives to even remember the name of the music group. I think I guess their songs were big when I was in middle school, maybe high school. I don't remember exactly. So yeah. Pop it into YouTube with the TLC quote there. So cool. And yeah, Kimberly, the kind of Franken-rig that you described there. That's I don't know. That's, even though it's smoked for you and you're still having to work on it. I'm still pretty impressed. You know, just the idea of being able to take kind of a radio that was blown and kind of salvage some bits out of it. That sounds like that was probably took you more than just an evening to make all of that work. So I am duly impressed with that. So yeah, and Zello, you mentioned the Zello thing too. So it's funny, I've never messed with Zello at all, but I've heard a number of people mention it as far as, you know, being connected to, you know, some all-star rooms or some Echo Link type stuff. And I think the folks on the ICQ podcast, one of them talks about doing stuff with Zello from time to time. So I actually literally just downloaded the app and created an account. So I'm assuming if I pop onto the Pride Radio Network website there, I can find the name of the room or whatever to request access to. So maybe while we're going a couple rounds here, I'll see if I can set that up and make it work. N3, VEM, back to net.
N3VEM from KJ7OMO returning. Yes, well, I have a video up on my YouTube channel demonstrating that Franken-rig setup if you'd like to watch it. And as for Zello, yeah, that information can be found at the PrideRadioNetwork.com website or PrideRadioNetwork.weebly.com in case of the main domain goes down for some weird reason. But it shouldn't go down. Not on my watch anyways. But yeah, you can either type in the Pride Radio Network room into search, exactly how it's written. It's case sensitive, by the way. Or you could scan the QR code with your Zello app, which makes setup a lot easier. And then once I see you pop in the room, I'll get you approved. Now, Zello's audio quality is, oh my goodness, it is freaking incredible. It is amazingly good. It's as if you're standing right next to me. That's how good Zello is. In fact, the All-Star Bridge over to Zello does not do it any justice at all. Not one iota. And I see you pop in, so give me one moment to get your transmit approved here. Oh, here we go. Alright. Okay, looks like it went through. Let me see here. While I mess around with that, let's see if we have any additional check-ins to the net. All I need from you folks are your call signs slowly, twice, and phonetically, and if you wish, you may include your pronouns as well. This is Kilo Juliet 7 Oscar Mike Oscar, and I will be standing by for more check-ins to the net. Alrighty, this is Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar, returning via Zillow this time. Doesn't look like we have any more check-ins at this moment, so let's kick it back to Victor Kilo 2, Golf Paul uniform from Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar. Alright, Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar, returning via All-Star Link. Looks like we don't have Ray with us at the moment, so back to November 3, Victor Echo Mike from Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar.
Okay, good deal. Yeah, it looks like I can at least hear the audio coming through on Zello, so I'll have to at some point here try to actually transmit with it. I might actually save that for next weekend though, because in the next 5 minutes it'll be midnight for me, and I'm pretty sure I turn into a pumpkin. But I did, Kimberly actually did pull up your YouTube so that I would remember when I come back to the computer tomorrow when I wake up at some point to check out that Frankenrig. So I'll have an open tab there as my reminder to take a peek at that if I don't get to do it before I hit the sack tonight. But yeah, with that, I think I'm going to make this my last one, and I'm going to kind of wind things down here in my shack and head to bed for the evening. But I will, with any luck, catch everybody again next week. Have a good one. N3, VEM, I'll be clear.
Alrighty, man, so it's good hearing you again, and we definitely look forward to hearing you again. I shall say 7-3 to you, and yeah. And you have a wonderful rest of your night. Alright, before I shut things down, do we have anybody else out there wanting to quickly check in? Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar, standing by. Alright, last call. Who else wants to check in before I shut things down? Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar, standing by for check-ins. Alright, folks, we're done here. I would like to thank all of you for participating and having fun on this net. I also would like to thank the Waverly Amateur Radio Society in Sydney for allowing us to hijack their system to carry this net. And same goes to the folks behind the VK3RBO repeater, if they have it linked. I'm not sure if they do. But thanks to them, too, in case if they do have us linked. And I also would like to, as always, thank VK3JED, VK2WAY, as well as the rest of the Pride Radio Group for making this net and this network possible. I remind folks that memberships are available to the Pride Radio Group. It is free to join. Be sure to check out prideradio.group. That is prideradio.group. Or you could check out Victor Kilo 3 Papa Romeo Golf or Kilo 3 Papa Romeo Golf on QRZ. Anyways, I now return all frequencies, repeaters, and other systems back to their abnormal abuse. I mean, normal amateur radio use. Hi. 7-3, everybody, from Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar. Alrighty, YouTube folks, that's it for me. Be sure to like, subscribe, ring the bell, and we'll see you next one. And we'll see you on the next one. 7-3 all from Kilo Juliet 7, Oscar Mike Oscar.